Hello, this is Danny from Orion Robots, and
this is me, Jonathan, from Orion Robots. You see me a lot of times.
And last time you saw us, me and Jonathan were building the Unotron robot from 4Tronix. Now what we're going to be doing today is we're actually going to be programming it. In fact, John is going to be programming it, and we're going to try and get those sensors and those motors moving and doing stuff. We're going to give him a few challenges. So some of this is going to be a screencast using the rather capable Open Broadcast Studio, and we're going to use Arduino Blockly. So Arduino Blockly is, well, pretty much the name says it all. It's a Blockly environment for the Arduino, and it's a little bit like my Bounce, because my Bounce system also uses Blockly. And I've got the robot plugged in. If you remember, it was an Arduino Nano. Excellent, there we go, we've got them side by side. So the first thing we're going to need to do is let's see if we can connect it up. So it's connected to a board Arduino Nano on COM3. What do I mean? Okay, so we've got some code here, and we're sending this blink code via these wires to the robot here. And that's actually just going to make this white LED turn on and off for us, okay? This is Arduino Blockly. This allows you to program the robot, okay? Yeah. Just like Scratch.
Can I try?
Yes, you can. So I've got some notes handy on what pins do what thing, okay? So we wired this up, and you remember we've got it connected up to some motors. Now we're actually only using channel A. So we've got channel A has got one motor, and the servo motor is connected on D9. So if you remember the previous video, and I'll put a link up to that, this robot has got a single wheel at the back, which is controlled by channel A, so that gives us a forward-backward drive, and we've got a servo motor steering it at the front, can turn left and right. So Jonathan, I want you to take the mouse, buddy.
Alright. Logic. Oops. Math.
That's working with words. Variables. So for those listening, Jonathan is 5, he's just getting his confidence in reading, and this is a little bit tricky for him. He was dying to have a go at this.
Function. Input, output.
This one?
Time.
Audio, which means making noises. And this one? Motors. Right, so let me explain some of those things and what we're going to use today. We're going to start with some basics. So motors, do you remember we talked about that this robot has got 2 motors on it, and motors are how we make robots? Yes, excellent. And we've got 2 different kinds of motors. We've got a simple motor for going backwards and forwards. We've got the complicated one, which is a servo motor on there. Let's try and do something with a simple one and get it to drive. Yeah, see if we can get it to drive backwards and forwards. So we're going to do 2 things. If you turn the motor on and off, yeah, do you know how fast the Nano on this robot is? Very fast. So it would be on and off before you'd even see it. So you need to make it wait a bit of time between turning it on and turning it off. So look what we've got in the library here. We've got time and motors. So let's see, we add a motor, so these are all for using stepper and servo motors. We aren't using stepper and servo motors. We're just using DC motors, so it looks like we're just going to do input and output here. So let's see, we've got digital pin 5 and 6 for the motor. So we want the motors to stop after the robot has finished. So go to time.
Wait a minute.
Well, something like that. That's wait a second. Yep, go on then. Drag that whole thing on. Yep, and put it at the bottom of the program and stick it on. You've got it. The motors are connected to these 2 pins. Don't quite send it yet. There, they're both high. Yeah? We got digital pin 0 and 1. We're setting them to high. Now actually we need to make those pins 5 and 6. So can you change 0 and 1 to 5 and 6 there? 5, yeah. And 6. Cool. And now setting them to high turns it on. What do you think turns it off?
I think we need to make it a bit smaller. This?
Yep. Okay, and make it low instead of high.
But why there's another piece there?
Oh no, that's what we're telling it to set the pin to. So the first is which pin we're going to do, and then it's what level we want it, high or low.
And we need to put this into a number 5.
So we need to turn that low again.
What do you mean?
Well, if you read it, it says set digital pin 5 to high. Can you see that?
Digital pin to high. The high to low. This?
Yeah. And we've turned one of the pins off. We should turn the other off as well. Cool. Yeah. So drag that on again. Okay. So we've turned pin 5 low. Cool. Can we upload it to the Arduino? Let's see what happens if I send this directly to the Arduino. Does it go? I don't see what if it did that then. Doesn't appear to go anywhere. Unable to find Arduino IDE. Okay, so let's figure out how this works.
Maybe we need to know.
Preferences. Arduino compiler directory.
Does this always happen?
Well, it's got this, but look, I can't actually set this. So okay, well for now we'll return, and what we will do is there's this code here that it's written for us, which is taking this code and turning this code into just writing, yeah? See if I can copy that and make a new sketch.
New sketch.
And let's put it here. Let's paste your code into it. So this is the code you've written here is written here in a slightly different way. We'll save as just motors. So let's click the upload button and see if it works. Okay, it's gone to the robot. The robot is alive. Okay, right.
Just put it on the floor, right?
So we've got the robot down on the test track, but before we drive, we've got a couple of modifications before we drive with that code.
Yep.
And John is going to get to do them. First one, can you see the cutters? Watch your fingers when you take those out. So look, let's look at the bottom of the robot. So can you see there's this cable tie sticking out here? I want you to cut it off about there, not my fingers. Get this the right way on like that, that's it. And squeeze it as hard as you can, get it go clip. You got it? Can you?
My bit will still work.
Yes, it will. That's just holding the batteries on. Okay, so here we've got jump wires. What we're going to do, John, for the batteries, so we've got a screw terminal here for power.
Yeah.
And what we could do is screw this in every time. When we screw it in, it's annoying, it'll start moving. So what we're going to do is we've got here a jump wire kit. So can you get the green wire from the jump wire kit and the long wire? So the longest ones are green. Okay, cool. And what we'll do is we'll poke one end into this, and then when we want to turn it on, we'll put one end into that breadboard. So put it in that hole. Yep, that should be the right screwdriver. Right, is that going to reach? Oh, now look, wait a minute, this plan, John, has a problem. This is not quite long enough. You don't need to base it on the board. This, John, is called a jumper. So let's see if the jumper will stay on here. If the jumper stays on, let's go for a shorter cable. So can you unscrew this and try plan B? Not too long and not too short. Okay, good, and let me tighten that in. Put the jumper on one end of this. Let's try it. actually it's going to drive. So let's give it some clear space to drive. So can we stand back a few steps and put it in the middle? I don't know if it's going to go the right way. It might go backwards. But it might go nowhere at all. Now what happened there? This is what I found out. We have our motor connected to the motor left port. Yeah, we got it connected to motor left. And you see here we've got motor left now. What does motor left say under it? And we use the pins. We use the pins for motor A. So if you use the pins for motor A, then the stuff connected on motor B won't do anything. So we either need to change our code or to move our motor wire.
Change B.
We're going to change the code to talk to B, are we? Let's go. So we'll go back to our Arduino Blockly here. I'm going to give you the mouse again. Look, it says B. What pins does it say for B here?
D3.
And?
D11.
Yep. Okay, cool. And did you see the red lights flashing up there? And it's got a blue light.
Yep.
Okay, unplug the robot from the computer.
Yep.
And we'll go back to the test track. Yep. And test number 2 with the code. Right, John, can you take the red cable and plug it into the green jumper?
We need to find a battery.
Alright, for now we're going to use the jumper on there. Which means we're going to completely unscrew it when we're finished with it for the day. Let me explain what's going on with that. We have a jumper here, yeah? This jumper connects the motor power to the input for the Arduino. If we unplug this motor power, the controller won't get any power and it won't start running code. But if we leave this screwed in with this unplugged, although it won't be actually powering the Arduino, the motor drivers will still be having power all night and it'll end up actually with no battery power at all. Here's a jumper. Right, drop the jumper here. Maybe we should have put a sleep before it moves. It's going to try and drive as soon as you plug that in. Do you know that, John? Did it go anywhere? No. Okay, we had a bit of debugging because actually each pin represents the side of the motor, so it's actually just 2 pins. We've also figured out that this code inside the Arduino Blockly, which I nearly totally missed, is inside loop. So it was turning on and staying on, or turning on and off, on and off. So you've got to do this end program, which translates into a while true. It's kind of not quite what I think me or John expected. Now there may be something in maybe loops, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, Arduino run first, Arduino loop forever. Okay, so we can be more explicit with this that way. So this code at the moment is now on the robot, so we'll go back over to the test track and see how it looks, shall we, John? We're back on the test track with hopefully code that will make it drive in some direction for 1 second and stop. So if you drop the jumper on again, there it waits for a second before it goes. It's not just going to run off on you with all that. Oh, and awesome! It moved. It was a bit crazy. Press the button on the top of the controller. It will drive off backwards into you. See on the top of the controller, there's a button in the middle of it. Yeah, and stand back. You're just enjoying making it spin and fall over, aren't you? So how can we stop it driving backwards?
I don't know.
Okay, well we can switch which pin we're putting high and low. Put pin 3 to low and pin 11 high.
Pin 3.
I'll put this where you can better see it, sorry.
Low. High.
We're also going to change this motor at the front, the servo motor. So click on motors and set servo. So move this set servo, put that in there, yep, right at the top. Yep. So we've now added a servo, put a servo code up here, which we put in there, and we're going to try it out on the test track. Here we go. It drove in the middle. Awesome. So we got the right servo connecting there, John. Okay.
So this looks, it's very fun. Just enjoy this. If you make this, I know you can do it, and it will be very fun.
Does it work well on the carpet? Hold on, let's take the board away. Let's see if we don't, maybe we don't need the test track. Oh look, this one does work well on carpet. Hold on, let's try it on the carpet right here. Let's try it on the carpet, buddy. So put it right here. There we go, press the button. Hey, it works well on carpet. So John, we got it working on the test track and it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was driving in a straight line, but you wanted to do something more interesting than a straight line, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you want it to do?
Do a number 8.
Okay, so let's think about what a number 8 looks like. Okay, we got one right there. So what does it do? It goes round, left, then straight, then round right, then straight. Yeah?
Yeah.
And do you want to do a number 8 forever until we turn it off, or do you want to do one number 8 and stop?
One number 8 and stop.
One number 8, then stop. I think this is trying to find the Arduino ID. Hold on a second, buddy. I think we might be able to get this to do the next step. It's just popped under instead. Arduino. Hey. I don't know what it's trying to do there. We'll ignore that. Now, was it going too fast or was it going fast enough? What do you think?
Just right.
Just right. Okay, cool. We won't change that. If we go to about 45 there, we go to 135 the other way. So set this number which says 90 to 45. You see the number that says 90? Set it to 45.
How do you want it,
45. Cool, okay. Set servo to 45. We'll wait a millisecond and drive going at 45 degrees. Then we'll wait and we'll leave it driving. Right click on this to make a copy. So right click on the servo thing and click duplicate to make a copy. Good.
I thought
Okay.
do that, but do.
Do, yeah. And put this under that weight for me. Put that here. Okay, now we can make another weight. So we copy this, duplicate. Oh, and put that under. Hold on, why is it
It's a bit too much that.
I think I've found a little bug. Huh. How odd. Okay, we'll go to time. We'll add another weight. We'll put it under there. And this time we're going to go straight. So straight is 90. So type 90 for me. Set it to 135 here.
1, 3, 5. That's the
Okay.
biggest number.
That's quite a big number. It's not the biggest. We'll add a servo. And we're going to go straight. So to go straight, we need to go back to 90 here. 90 is going straight. 90.
9, 0.
Good. And then we're going to put in another timeout. So let's save this. John Uno Robot. And let's see if I can do this again. Preferences. Compiler location. It's got me. It knows where my Arduino is. Good. Okay. Right. Plug in the robot. Let's see if we can upload this code. See if this will work now. Serial port not available. Oh, hold on. Preferences. Serial port COM3. Now it has it. Upload. Let's close the other Arduino bit. See if we can get it go straight from here. Okay, we can do it that way. We're going to try and get this to work for us, buddy. We should be able to get this to directly talk to the robot, so you can hit play in here. So I'm a little bit inexperienced with RG Blockly, my John. Okay, so this is my first time using it. and I suspect we're going to find a few areas where we can maybe, well, A, get more familiar with it, and then B, see if we can help Carlos Paratas, the writer of this. You know, if there's anything that we found a bit tricky, might be good stuff for him. Okay, let's try and upload with this to see what happens, because I couldn't upload with the other software yet. We'll make that work. Okay, this is uploading. It's taking a fair old time to upload, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it may do a figure of 8, it might fall over sideways, there might be all kinds of crazy things that are going to happen. Look, it's uploading, can you see that? The lights are blinking away, and we're done. Okay, we're going to go back to the test track. So we've got the figure of 8 code, we think, on the robot. John's now going to drop the jumper in and arm the robot and stand back. Could do anything, it's probably going to tip on its side when it takes its first turn, but we'll see. And when he's got the jumper in, he probably wants to stand back. Here we go, let's see what it does. Ready? Oh! Okay, let's try it in the middle here. Press the button on it, John. Might need a bigger test track or a slower robot. I think we need to slow down on our turns. What do you reckon, buddy? Slow down on the turns? Okay, it's hilarious that it falls over.
I love it. It's hilarious.
Okay, I think we need to fix it. What do you think? So we're going to do our last test with a half speed robot. Me and John were talking about 128 being half of 255. So it's going to go half speed and it's not going to fall over so much. Let's do it. So we're back on the test track with the slightly slower figure of 8. Hopefully it will move and not fall over. So John, do you want to arm the robot with the jumper again?
Where's the jumper?
It's there, yep. So if you arm the robot and stand back and see if it's going to work. Okay, oops. It does something. Okay, press the button on it again. Let's give it some room to work in and stand back. Oh. Okay, let me try it.
I know, this is so fun.
Oh, it still fell over, but it's getting there. Okay, so we haven't got all the bugs out. It still tips over sometimes, but it's certainly beginning to look like it's going to make a figure of 8. We're probably going to spend a bit more time fiddling with it, but I think for actually showing you code running on this, and for John learning RG Blockly and me figuring out how much of it, you know, getting used to it and figuring out how to make it work, I think that we're done for that. So thank you for watching, and what do you want to say, John?
And if you like it, put your thumbs up. If you don't like it, put your thumbs down. And please subscribe it.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe
So, yeah.
it if you really like it.
And please do take a look at the original video where we put this together. And maybe this will appear in other videos where maybe me and John will do more interesting things with it. This is the first robot you've programmed, right, John?
Yeah.
How'd you find programming?
Great.
Great? Bit hard?
Kind of. But can I sing a song?
Right. Let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.